Good afternoon, Dr. Robert. Thank you for being part of my project. Can you tell us more about how you were infected and how old were you when you were contracted polio virus?
Hi, Melody. So I got the polio virus when I was 1.5 years old in 1951. I probably got infected when I went swimming because my parents took me to the swimming pool in Medan, Indonesia, and probably one of the child who had polio peed in the swimming pool water, and I drank it as a baby, and probably that's how I got the polio virus. It gets transmitted only by oral, by swallowing the damn virus.
Doctor, could you explain to us why children below 5 or pregnant women are more susceptible to polio virus?
Children do not have the immunization, the immunity yet, and pregnant ladies may pass the virus to the fetus. So the current trend is not to immunize pregnant ladies in fear of introducing the polio to the baby.
More than half of the polio patients develop post-polio syndrome. How does PPS affect you?
I got post-polio syndrome about 17 years ago when I was a family physician in Canada. After that, I volunteered for 2 years in Canada, then 2 years in Thailand, and then now 15 years in Malaysia. Sorry, so that would be 15 plus 2 plus 2 is 19 years ago. How it affects me is it's an insidious in onset, meaning nothing specifically triggered it off. It happened out of the blue, so to say. Um, One of the problems is I develop what's called brain fatigue, where the brain stops working after about 2.5 to 3 hours. So going to drive to Singapore, for example, is 5.5 hours. So I cannot even drive to Singapore by myself. I have to have a second person or pull off the road about 2 hours to stay at a rest stop, have a sleep for about half an hour, 40 minutes to recharge my brain with the acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter. So that's one. Second one is I developed cold intolerance. And as I was getting older, Canada is getting too cold for me. Thus, I was looking for a country that has a hotter climate. Third thing is that I developed weakness in both the affected muscles that had polio as well as unaffected muscles. So with time and as aging progresses, the muscles that were affected by polio and as well as muscles that I thought was not affected by polio becomes a lot weaker. Just before I did fairly strenuous badminton, was champion of Sumatera Utara. At that time, Indonesia was the international champion in badminton. Did mountain hiking, did pretty well all of the things that people did. Now I cannot even walk about a kilometer, 2 kilometers distance period.
There's no cure for polio, but is there any medication to prescribe to this patient to manage their symptoms of PPS?
There was a medication called Mestinon, Mestinon, which was used for people with post-polio syndrome. But one of the problems with Mestinon is that there's a side effect, which is one of the diarrhea problem. So one of my colleague who was severely affected by polio, so much so that she's in wheelchair, Dr. Ruth Heron, who has since died took the Mestinon for a while, felt better, felt stronger. She was able to get off her wheelchair, but because of the side effects of diarrhea, she ended up pooing into her panties. So she decided to stop the Mestinon, remain to be in a wheelchair, so at least she can get to the bathroom without soiling her pants.
Thank you, Dr. Robert. Thank you for your precious time. This session is indeed an eye-opening one.